Now hit refresh, see if... Oh, hold on, stream validation in progress.
What was that?
I think that means we're streaming. It says in progress though,
Yeah,
but...
it does. Hey, what, there you go.
Big question is, why is it showing that?
Oh, I gotta turn that down.
Okay, I obviously don't know how to do this. Why isn't it...
I don't know.
Do I have to, what do I have to do? How come...
Hello.
Okay, I don't understand. That's why it wasn't, it's not throwing the different shots. Why isn't it, dagnabbit, why isn't it changing
Cameras?
cameras? I have to drag them, what do I have to do?
See, this is your, which one are you on?
The iPad.
I know, but, okay, so, okay.
You gotta watch out when you put, sometimes they go black.
Well, it shouldn't.
I know, and it's not cross-dissolving. And it's not putting it over in the live shot. Okay, so,
Okay, yeah, you go from preview to live. So that'll preview it, and then you hit that, and it'll go over to there.
so I gotta push twice.
Right.
Ah, what a
Good.
pain.
Well, that way you can decide which one you want to preview. If you don't
Yeah.
like it, you can go back, and then you hit that.
You don't have to do that on the phone, though. Okay.
So what's it gonna preview? There is no preview, so,
Well, for some reason, it goes black. Sometimes when you push one of these buttons, it goes black. Okay, scooch back over.
it's hot in here.
Okay, so,
My fat ass is getting hot.
okay, there's
It.
Todd.
I need a drink.
So this should look good on YouTube,
Well, yeah.
the recording. Okay, the question is it gonna look like my recording, or is it gonna look like that?
I wouldn't trust that. That's coming through the Wi-Fi in the building.
Okay, okay.
It should look like what you see
I was
there.
gonna say, yours is clear, right?
Yeah, pretty good.
The thing is, well, it's recording. The thing is, okay, I guess we're going.
I'm gonna go hit the Facebook button.
Okay. So we are live on YouTube. Question is, what kind of a video will we get out of this?
Yeah, let's see. 3, 2, 1.
God, wish I had my notes.
So do you want me to monitor, I can monitor YouTube up there, and I can monitor
I'd monitor
Facebook.
a little more.
Well, then let's monitor Facebook up there, and I can monitor. Actually, I can switch back and forth.
Yeah.
Hello, Facebook.
Hey, Buzzheads.
We're working on this, trying to get her going. Get her going.
Get her done.
Too much electronical stuff going on.
Okay, so. Hello, test.
What's the test about?
Test, test. I guess, make sure I sound, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay.
I don't know about everybody else. Hey, look at there, we're live on Facebook.
On Facebook, on BuzzHead Media. Anybody out there? Hey, Buzzheads, welcome to,
The 70s podcast,
this is the 70s Buzz podcast.
by golly.
And so what we're going to do is do an introduction show and introduce everybody to the podcast. And
There's a lot going on.
there is a lot going on.
Curtis has got his hands full.
And so, yeah, we could use a producer, but it's got to be a reliable producer. We might have to hire Natalie for that. So, okay, so anyway,
We don't have the budget for Natalie.
we're kind of experimenting
Yeah.
as usual. But, okay, so again, our first podcast is going to be the 70s Buzz introduction. And as soon as I remember to record the podcast,
Oh, shit.
so we don't have to do the whole show without not having it recorded. Okay, so this is,
We're gonna have to make a checklist.
I know. Okay, ready, set,
Record.
record.
I'm gonna get on my Facebook, I'm gonna share it
Okay,
on my Facebook.
okay, you ready?
Yeah, dadgummit.
Tell me when you're, tell me when we're ready to start the introduction show.
Just give me 1 second. Do we know what we're gonna do for the introduction show?
Oh, we're gonna talk about what ages we were in the 70s, growing up here in Enid, how we met in junior high, just some stuff about us in the, why, just some memories of the 70s and kind of run down, all that stuff.
Seems like well, I don't wanna waste it. Let me,
Yeah,
let's see if your first remembrance of meeting is the same as mine.
oh, I doubt, because I don't really remember, but I don't remember a meeting, I just remember, well, yeah, we'll talk about it here in a sec.
Yeah, you're wasting material, dude.
And if anybody's out there watching on YouTube or Facebook, again, we will get things going here
Share,
a little better. Share.
please. Or you can go to YouTube. Don't tell Facebook, but we're also on YouTube.
Yeah, we want to be more on YouTube. Again, if you're out there watching, we're doing a new podcast called The 70s Buzz. It's going to be a podcast. You're going to be able to download it for a podcast, but we're also going to have a companion video. And so,
Which will be on YouTube and the website.
yeah, so I'm going to, there's Todd.
Where am I?
Wave at everybody. There you are.
Right there.
Yeah, and I'm here, and then we've got our wide shot, and we've even got a close-up shot if I need to, oh, now what if I don't want to go to that? Okay.
There you go. This is YouTube up here right now.
Oh, it is, okay.
I mean, I can switch right back if we need to.
Okay,
Oh,
so,
that's a good, yeah. That's pretty cool, actually.
what, the shot?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we're ready. Okay, I'm gonna push record on podcast. Podcast, introduction, the 70s Buzz.
We're using the same intro music?
No, I'm gonna have a whole new something 70s.
But we can't use anything from the 70s.
Well,
70-ish.
yeah. Okay, hang on.
There's lots of stuff.
Okay, bam. Go all the way to the beginning.
Hey, we could use some of our music from the 70s.
Hey, we wrote some songs. Oh, hang on. Ready?
I guess.
Hey, Todd.
Hey, Curtis.
Hey, wow, what are we doing here?
We are attempting to podcast switcher to YouTube and Facebook Live at the same time. It's monumental, especially since we've been out of the studio for 6-7 weeks because of the fire. There was a fire.
Yeah, our studio here in Enid, Oklahoma, there was a fire, so we have been out of pocket for weeks. So we're getting back into it, but the cool thing about getting back into it is we have finally decided on our very first podcast that we're going to do weekly. This will be the 70s Buzz, and it's going to be a weekly podcast that I'm not sure what days we'll have it out. We're probably going to try to record it every Tuesday. Not that that matters because I'm not sure what day it'll be out, but along with the podcast that you can listen to, we are going to have a YouTube video, and so that's why we are have all kinds of cameras.
Why you waving to the monitor?
Well, it's glitchy up there. Anyway,
That's the Wi-Fi.
yeah, trying not to get distracted here. So let's kind of introduce ourselves to anybody new that hasn't met us or heard us before.
What?
Yeah, what? Who? What? That's that noise I heard earlier that I asked you about.
Oh, I didn't have my headphones.
I wonder what that was. Anyway, I hit the table. I know what it caused it. I just don't know what it was. So anyway, Curtis Tucker here. And who are you?
I'm Todd.
Todd and Curtis. We grew up in Enid, Oklahoma. And basically I think I figured up, I was pretty much 8 to 17 years old in the 70s. And so it was literally my whole growing up experience was in the 70s. That was elementary school, junior high, and high school. What about you?
Yeah, well, pretty much same. You're not that much older than me. 5, 6, 8 years, something like that.
Yeah, we're actually both, 54? You're 54 now, right?
Almost.
You haven't been there yet? Okay.
I'm still the young one.
So we're almost 54, both of us. I am 54. I was a little older for my class, but
I was a young one in my class.
yeah. One thing that Alan Klepper and I have been talking about is we're not baby boomers. Our parents are baby boomers.
It depends on where you look. Some call us baby boomers. Some call us X. Is it the X generation X?
Yeah.
So depending on, I've looked it up a couple times.
But wouldn't it be weird that your parents and you are baby boomers?
Yeah.
It seems like there shouldn't be two generations in one classification.
Yeah, they just kind of overlap depending on who you ask.
Yeah. But anyway, we have lots of good memories of the 70s. So that was our subject of our first podcast. Mm-hmm. And we thought, well, let's just turn that podcast into a whole series. And I do a thing called Enid Buzz, which has a pretty good audience. And every time that I post something like the green stamps or something from the 70s, I get a huge response. And everybody really, really likes it. There we go. Everybody, there's our idea book from the Green Stamp Store. We've got all kinds of stuff in studio. So anyway, we're going to make it a weekly podcast and talk about pretty much just concentrate on one subject every week. So that'll be 52 cool memories that we're going to help you reminisce about and take you on a journey. And we're going to tell you what we remember. What I remember about the 70s is being able to ride our bikes and skateboards anywhere all over town. Parents never had to know where we were. We went through tunnels under the roads. We went through creeks looking for tadpoles. Yeah. It just seemed like a different time.
Yeah, just be home when the streetlights came on.
And then when we were home when the streetlights came on, we'd plop down on the corner and tell ghost stories and talk till...
Yeah, you could stay close. I mean, you didn't have to be home. You just had to
You had to be on the block.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are kind of our memories. We live in Oklahoma, northwest Oklahoma, in a town that was probably, I'm guessing, 35 to 40,000 people back then, maybe. Oil, wheat, agriculture. Air Force. And we had pawn shops. We had...
downtown was loaded with pawn shops.
Yeah, we'd come down and buy comic books. And so a lot of great memories.
Throwing stars.
Jarts.
Jarts.
So here are some of the subjects that we're going to cover. The Green Stamp Store, Space Food Sticks, Brady Bunch, The Partridge Family, Jaws, Star Wars. Basically anything that was pretty much iconic in the 1970s, we're going to try to make a whole podcast out of.
Yeah. And by the way, Curtis doesn't usually sound this froggy. He's a little...
I was going to say, even beyond the 70s, go back to the 50s and the 60s to the Little Rascals, and I kind of sound like Froggy. So this too shall pass. Probably our first 2 episodes, I will sound a little froggy because we are going to immediately transition from this episode into our Green Stamp episode. So if you're listening, don't quit listening. Wait for, basically, I'm going to call it podcast number 2 because this will be number 1. Listen to number 2 because it will be our Green Stamp podcast. So now, real quick, you and I, you were going to talk about your memories of how we met in what was called junior high, because in Enid, we went to junior highs, which were 7th, 8th, and 9th. At that point, we did not have middle schools.
Well, didn't they just, different parts of the country called junior high middle school?
Well, but middle school, like it does now, started in 9th grade, whereas our 9th grade was in junior high. And so when they switched from junior high to middle school, they moved the 9th grade out of that building and went to high school.
Because I remember in grade school, in 6th grade, they said, now, you're actually in junior high, and we're like, well, no, we're still in
Yeah,
grade school.
yeah, we were seemed to be a little backwards on less stuff growing up, so anyway, so tell me, do you remember us meeting? And it was basically 7th grade.
Basically, I think the first memories I have of meeting you, you remember those seats that were, the round seats around the
Yeah.
poles in the, I guess, the lobby?
Yeah,
Seems like that's where some of my first memories, but as I remember, there just always was Curtis, as far as, Curtis and Staten, as far as junior high goes. And then, heck, next thing I know, we're talking about, forming a band, because that's what you did back then, formed a band.
yeah, well, now the only thing that I don't really remember, like a first day, I just remember that, like you say, Todd was just there. We went to junior high and Todd was there. He was our friend somehow almost immediately, but I remember your brother died pretty quick after.
Yeah, May 14th, 1978.
So I guess that wasn't real quick. I guess that was, because
No, that
school
was-
starts in August.
That was, well, in 78, it was actually our 9th grade year.
Oh, was it that late?
Yeah. Yeah, because we started Waller in 70.
In 7th grade? How could we have gone 7th and 8th grade and never met your brother?
Oh, he was 9 years older. He was
Oh, so he just wasn't home?
he was doing,
Okay.
I mean, we were, we were 14, he was 20, no, we were 11, he was 20.
I was gonna say, we were pretty young. Okay, so if he wasn't living at home, that's why.
Yeah, no, he was living at home, he just never was there.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, so that threw me off. So anyway, okay, so,
And how many times did you ever meet my brother?
I never met your brother. That's what I'm
Oh, you never
saying.
did?
I'm saying I never met your brother in
Oh.
7th or 8th. It seems weird that I could go 7th, 8th, and almost all of 9th and never have met your brother.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, it was at the end of 9th grade. It was May 14th, and we graduated like the end of May.
Wow. I don't know why I thought it was 7th grade.
Yeah.
See, here we are, jogging memories. That's what this whole show's gonna be about.
Jogging
so,
memory.
Jogging memories.
Not really jogging.
I'm gonna cough, and I don't have a cough button, so I apologize.
The vulgarity cough button.
Yeah, we need the old, hey, that's another,
Boogeyman.
Boogeyman, Boogie Check. People that live in the Oklahoma City area will remember Boogeyman, Boogie Check. That's gonna be a whole episode, because I have found those episodes. They were on cassette. I recorded them on a cassette, and now I've digitized them. And we will play for a whole episode. We will reminisce about Boogeyman and Boogie Check.
Yeah, because Boogie would let you get on the radio and run the radio show.
He'd let us talk and tell stories and say hi. Basically, the big thing was, can I say hi to somebody?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, I can't even talk. I guess tonight I could talk like him if I really tried. Yeah, and so, and then Dr. Demento, I think we've talked about Dr. Demento before, those songs that were on Sunday night. And everything that we recorded basically had to be on a cassette.
Held up to the speaker.
Yeah. Now, your first thing to play music with, what was it? What did it play?
Oh, well, 8-track.
Okay, see, mine was 45s. I had a 45 player.
I guess it was albums.
Okay, I had a 45 player, and then eventually got a record player / 8-track
Right.
stereo system. The whole console that was huge in your room with the speakers built in on each side.
I got a funny story about that, maybe we can tell later, but I actually bought it right down the street here when Radio Shack was down the street. And I banked at First National Bank up here, and I went down there and I said, how much is this? It was a clarinet, it's like 98 or something from Radio Shack. It was like, I don't know, $279.18. So I go down to the bank and I said, yeah, I need to withdraw $279.18. The lady's like, well, why not $280? I said, I'm probably gonna get in trouble for taking this money out of my account as it is. Got exact change, took it back. I was scared to death my dad was gonna be mad, but it was my money, even though I was a teenager.
Very cool. Yeah, and so your dad owned a roofing company, and you roofed with him, and actually you guys would invite me and some of the other guys
Yeah,
to help out.
There was a
So
plethora of guys that, you, Kyle, I don't think, did
Staten,
Staten ever work?
I think Staten worked a little bit, not a whole lot. So
Mark. Hi, Mark. Oh, Mark's not here.
yeah, so we had a whole gang of guys, and then we all kind of formed a band. Like that'll be another one of our the '70s Buzz episodes. It'll be all on garage bands because we had a garage band. One of the biggest groups that we liked to play was Kansas. We played some Thin Lizzy.
Yeah.
What else did we play that was
Foreigner.
that was decent?
Yeah, we did. We didn't do any Boston, did we?
No, Boston would have been tough. What else did we do? Gosh, I can't even. We wrote songs. We wrote it. We'll have a whole episode. In that episode, we will play. I still have the clips on
Midnight
cassette.
Dreaming?
We will play.
gosh.
Yeah, so our first hit, Midnight Dreaming. So.
Oh my gosh.
That will be interesting. That'll be a good episode. So anyway, you guys stick with us. We will put these episodes eventually on buzzheadmedia.com. They'll probably go on buzzheadradio.com here for a little while, but then that will eventually transition over to Buzzhead Media. That is our company. And again, this is the 70s Buzz podcast. This is the introduction. We welcome everybody to listen to us. I don't know. I think our episodes are going to range from 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the subject, the guests,
We can get to rambling.
the things that we have involved. And this, I guess we ought to keep this one at maybe below 15 minutes, since it's more the introduction, just to give you guys a background on us and what we're doing.
It's
So
probably a long introduction.
So anyway, I guess we're probably going to get out of here just so we can move on to Green Stamp. So again, if you are listening now, don't stop. Go ahead and go on to podcast number 2.
Listen to the inaugural podcast for BuzzHead Media.
Yeah, well,
Stay
do that one more time.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, the idea book. So anyway, thank you guys. We will talk to you soon, and we'll see ya.
Oh, Jesus, sorry.
I love all this stuff. Everything live. Okay. I wonder how I turn this off.
I'm trying to find.
I don't need to turn this off. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
cut. Okay, so we're off. And I'm not even going to stop the recording.
Yeah, no sense in it.
Okay, ready?
Because you'll get logged off.
1, 2, 3. Podcast number 2.
Hey, there we are.
Let me cough before we get started. Okay, so this is going to be about green stamps. So I need to pull up.
Where's that coming from?
I don't know. Where is that coming from?
Mike Stuber says, Curtis, we can hear you well, but not your counterpart.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's because you're holding the thing.
Oh.
No, that's on Facebook, though.
Mike, you're on Facebook?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
Mike-
weird.
Mike's
I
on-
wonder if the mics aren't working. And our voices are just going through. Mike, does it sound like...
Well, the Facebook camera's up there, so.
But maybe the microphones aren't working into it.
Hey, Tana. Tana's watching too. Tana, can you hear me very well? Say something, Tana.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the mics aren't going into...
They may not. Very quiet. Oh, yeah, it may be.
And my voice is a little boomier than yours, is probably why they can hear me a little better.
Yeah, very plausible.
Oh, see, now I'm getting kind of a funky...
Like, yeah. Let me make sure that this is all plugged in, and it's all plugged in the same.
Okay, that camera over there is giving me really bad visual.
Go over to YouTube,
It's 9 o'clock.
and it's 9 o'clock here.
Wow, that was a quick hour.
Go over to YouTube, Buzzhead Media Live, at YouTube, and check it out.
Why is...
Basically, we're using Facebook to send you over to YouTube. Don't tell Facebook.
My,
Don't tell Facebook.
for some reason, that camera is not...
Let me go look at it real quick.
It's, it actually just locked up. The other shots are good, but that one is not.
It says it's active, whatever that means.
It's locked up. It's not even, that's giving me feedback. There you go. Don't touch, yeah.
Now we're not running through the mixer. I don't know why it's not working.
Oh well, sorry guys on the live.
On the Facebook Live.
On the Facebook Live, my camera's good. It's the other camera that's.
It's weird. Yours says your active thing's not on, but my active thing's on. Now we're not running through the mixer. I don't know why it's not working. Oh well, sorry guys on the live. On the Facebook Live. The Facebook Live.
Well, heck, why isn't that?
It's weird. Yours says
Brown Cummins likes BuzzHead Media video. Very quiet. Thanks, Mike. Audio isn't super great. Yeah, we thought we had the mixer going into the iPhone, and obviously we don't. But we are recording this for YouTube, so the YouTube version should sound.
Yeah, everybody go to YouTube. Check it out. BuzzHead Media Live.
Go to youtube.com/BuzzheadMedia. Mic level. Yeah, no, Mike, we thought we had the mixer board plugged into the. It just wasn't. Where's that noise coming from?
Everybody go to YouTube. Check it out. Oh, my phone, sorry.
Oh, okay. Oh, now it's working. Did you do something?
Yeah, I fixed it.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Glad you did that. I hope that
Hey,
didn't.
Marsha's watching. Hi, Marsha. YouTube. Jump over to YouTube.
Yeah, if you guys want to give it a try, go over to youtube.com/BuzzheadMedia, and we might sound better over there because I didn't even think about that. I wonder what we do sound like, because
We'll find out.
this is what our
yeah.
this is what our YouTube's gonna. Crap. I don't even know where the microphone is. There's the speaker. Well, I guess we'll
have to do the iRig thing.
I just thought my phone being wonky.
No.
You're welcome. Toddy can always fix things. Okay, well, thanks, guys. Again, we're live here we're just doing a lot of testing again. We are actually recording this for a podcast, so the audio on the podcast is going to sound terrific.
Yeah.
Secondary is the YouTube channel video. Thirdly is the Facebook Live. So unfortunately, we're not going to get good audio on Facebook Live tonight because we're not going to stop to fix that. Somebody go over to, I don't know if you can see comments on youtube.com/BuzzheadMedia, and we should be live there as well. You might let us know if we sound a little better over there because we're a little closer to the recording device there. And so hopefully.
Are there notifications? Oh, live chat. Huh.
Yeah, live chat. Nobody's live chatting us up.
Y'all go to YouTube. Y'all get over to YouTube. Get over that YouTube thing right there.
Okay, shall we move on to our podcast?
Sure. You still recording?
Yep. Yeah. Big gap in there in the middle, but that's all right. Okay, yeah, and our batteries are going to start running out.
Not mine.
Yeah, not yours. Okay, ready?
Ready.
3, 2, 1. Hey, Buzzhead, Curtis Tucker
Todd Wheeler.
here on BuzzHead Media, and this is episode 2, but I'm trying to think of a really cool name. Right now, we're not going to have a name, but it's going to be like those green stamp licking something. That's going to be the title of the show. But anyway, this is really kind of our first subject, other than our introduction. Hold on, let me do a different camera shot there, and so it's all about green stamps. So we want you guys to reminisce and to think of the old days. Again, our podcast is about things in the 70s, and this week's episode is all about green stamps, the Green Stamp Store, and the idea book.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what Todd was showing you there. And we might as well get showing you guys here.
Now, these are compliments of...
This is Sandy's These are actually she had a whole bunch of these. So we've actually got green stamps. These are the ones that you put the 10s and the 50s in. And I mostly remember the bigger books that you put the singles in, that you had to put, how many?
1,200.
1,200 single green stamps equaled one book, if you
Marcia-
guys didn't know.
Marcia, she used to work at United. She would know how much.
Tell them who Marcia is.
Marcia is my sister. She's one of my older sisters. And she used to work at the grocery store. Remember that little thing you would put your finger in and spit the green stamps out?
I think did the cashier do that, or did we do that?
No, the cashier did.
Yeah.
We just take all we wanted.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. See, that was one of my show notes that I don't have in front of me, but was going to be, the little machine that she
Yeah.
could twist and,
Yeah, it reminded me of a rotary telephone.
yeah.
However many you got.
Yeah.
Marcia, do you remember how much money you had to spend to get green stamps?
Yeah, that was our question. Again, this podcast is all about the 70s, but if you didn't know, green stamps, which were S&H green stamps, which stood for Sperry and Hutchinson. Now, here's a little trivia that I had on my notes that I remember. Remember Starsky and Hutch, S&H?
Oh.
You know that came from S&H green stamps?
Did not know that.
It did. That's a little bit of trivia for you. But anyway, in 1896, Thomas Sperry and Shelley Byron Hutchinson started S&H green stamps, and they kind of became really popular in the 1960s and 1970s, and so that's why we include them here in the 70s, because I think they had their heyday in the 70s, and then the 70s recession is actually what kind of caused them to go away.
Yeah.
But tell them they haven't really gone away.
No, they're still there. You can actually, these green stamps are still actually worth money.
You can still cash them in. They're called green points
Green points.
now.
But these are still worth something. I don't know what they're worth.
Yeah, I don't either, but they do have a store. I think it's greenpoints.com. So if you do still have some green stamps laying around, go to greenpoints.com and see about cashing those in.
Yeah.
And so what I remember about green stamps is my mom would go grocery shopping on Saturdays.
It was Friday for us.
Okay, it was Saturday for us, and so she would come home with a load of groceries. One of the things that I always remember her coming, remember back in the day in the 70s, Dr. Pepper came in 1 liter bottles.
Mm-hmm.
So there was
Glass bottles.
1 liter glass bottles, and they were in a 6-pack, a huge 6-pack, and she would bring like,
Wasn't it like a plastic carton? Plastic 6-pack holder?
no, the ones that she brought were paper. It was like a heavy cardboardy paper.
Oh, yeah, because they would collapse.
Yeah, they would collapse. But in the bottom of the bag, when you pulled all the Dr. Pepper out, were all these long strips of green stamps. And they would just sit around the house. I see you licking your tongue already.
I can taste them right now.
Let's show everybody you're licking there. Yeah, so anyway, they would sit around the house until you had a huge pile of them, and then all of a sudden somebody would think, hey,
I want something.
if I lick all these, I can go spend them. Excuse me.
And then you get the idea book out.
And then, and so we had a green stamp store in our town. We're from Enid, Oklahoma, northwest Oklahoma, and we did have a green stamp store, and we would go over there, and just for memory's sake, the only thing I ever remember buying and ever having enough green stamps for was the light baby blue manicure set, because I wanted to get my mom something for Christmas.
Yeah.
And so I kind of,
It was like, Mom, can I use the green stamps?
but I don't think I even asked. I think I licked them and I took it without even asking.
I
So
bet Connie was mad.
it'd have been too much effort. That's my sister. Here's a question for you. Did you lick your green stamps, or did you use a sponge?
Mostly lick, but I do remember you could buy a sponge that sat in a little container and you
Uh-huh.
like run it over it.
Yeah.
It was kind of a pain.
Yeah.
I was gonna look for that manicure set. Do you remember where it was?
By the women's bathroom type stuff, I think, but it's in there. It was 2 books, so that you're talking 2,400 stamps just to get that darn manicure set. But that is the one thing that I to this day remember. And we asked this question online, and a lot of people commented, and I don't have those notes in front of me, but they remember that one family said that they used, no, keep going. It's just a little kind of almost ovally looking It seemed like it was further back maybe. But some people would, on Thanksgiving, they would get the family together on Thanksgiving night, and they would all lick stamps,
Lick stamping
put
party.
the stamps together, and then if you remember, a lot of families, when you get your green stamp books together, you'd wrap it in a rubber band. I don't know why, just to keep them all together.
Yeah, I do remember.
And then you would go into the green stamp store and you'd buy something. So anyway, we thank everybody for getting us the green stamps. But
Those are from Sandy, and these are from David Kaiser.
yeah, so let me show that real. And so if you don't remember, the book that had the stuff in it was called the Idea Book. So what we're going to do right now is this book is actually from the 70s, and Todd's going to thumb through there a little bit and I don't know, kind of pick some 1970s looking stuff, and let's reminisce about how much that stuff, what you could get.
I surely have gone too far.
Yeah, I think you've gone too far.
Are you sure it wasn't that one thing I showed?
Yeah, no, because I saw that too.
Yeah.
It was just a little manicure set for 2 books. It was like in the hair care.
That's where I was.
Yeah, but I think it was, or bathroom care, something like that.
Whoa,
So,
that lady's wearing a bra.
well, looky there. So, anyway, we are going to have these podcasts. They will be on iTunes and stuff like that, but we will also put these on buzzheadmedia.com with some show notes, and we will have links to like the greenpoints.com and some of our photos. I think you might be getting close, maybe. It was like down in a corner of a whole bunch of pictures. No, it wasn't that. No, maybe it was the other way.
Oops, sorry, Dave.
So anyway, let us know, send us notes about what you remember from the green stamps. And these books are a little different than the ones that we had. The green stamp books that we had actually were a little bigger, and you could put single stamps in. These are for only 10s and 50s. And it's funny because on the pages it says, do not mix. So they didn't want you to mix the 10s with the 50s.
Really? Now on the other book you could.
I know, on the other book you could. This one it says, well, on a page, they didn't want you to mix it. One page could have been 50s on this and the other page. So 1,200 stamps equaled 1 book. And
Clocks. Let me see. What's iconic 70s? The fondue dish. Oh, wow. Check out these clocks.
oh, yeah, I saw those. I like those. You know what somebody meant? I had several people mention that the step ladder was something that they still had using today. Several people got scales. And I looked in there, and scales ran from about 3.5 to 5 books, depending on the scale. So, interesting stuff there.
David, the guy we got this from, he remembers his mom. The only thing he remembers is the biplane. He said for some reason she bought planes, the flat planes that hung on the wall.
That you put on the wall art.
Yeah.
Very-
Do you think they got the wooden giant fork and spoon in here?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. You think? Is that where those came from?
I don't
You know,
know.
that's,
Everybody had those, but I don't know where they came from. They probably got inherited them or
yeah.
like passed on.
You know, the one thing that really dates that book is looking at the bedspreads and anything to do with beds or couches is really. And hey, flip back to can we mention cigarette ads on here
Oh,
because
sure.
we're not really advertising. In the middle of the book
It's loose too.
is it's a cigarette.
What camera are you on?
Right, that one. Excuse me. We're gonna get a cough microphone one of these days. Yeah, so Alpine cigarettes.
Menthols.
It says, every smoker who saves S&H green stamps should be an Alpine smoker. Very funny. And then on the other side, it's a glass set.
With a scorpion on it. Oh, monogrammed.
Very cool. So that's the idea book. Now I don't remember using it. I guess we just didn't have that many green stamps because I can vividly only remember buying that manicure set. And I could swear we had that around till just not too many years ago. It could still be at my mom's house somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure she still got it. I didn't realize, but you could actually rent a car with green stamps.
Somebody had mentioned that on a post I had seen.
Wow.
And there is a little bit of confusion. Some people say that there was a Brady Bunch episode using green stamps, but we've checked that out, and actually it was checker stamps. And so kind of the same concept. They saved up a whole bunch of
Wasn't that one, was it?
No. Am I going to have to find it for you?
I guess.
The boys and the family had saved up a lot of green stamps or not, checker stamps on the Brady Bunch episode, and then the dad had to decide whether they bought. The girls wanted a
Sewing machine.
The boys wanted a
Rowboat.
rowboat, and so that was the episode. They had to build a house of cards. And here, let me have that book. You talk to him for a minute while I'm going to show you this.
Dee Dee Sutton Morris, she says she still has her laundry hamper.
Oh, really?
And a set of canisters from the green stamps.
Oh, very cool. I love people commenting. Please comment if you guys remember. Tell us what you remember about the green stamp store or green stamps or anything like that. Oh, I remember the weight sets. I wonder if I got a weight set at one time.
Oh, so you could be like Joe Weider?
I either got my weight set from green stamps or I got it from service merchandise.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, service merchandise will be another episode, but I bet it was service merchandise. I'm bound and determined to find this blue manicure set. So, Todd, what do you remember? Do you remember buying anything specific with green stamps?
Not really. I just remember licking them all the time and then get the taste. I can still taste them.
Thick. It had a thick coating on the back.
Yeah, and then you had to make sure you get them all straight.
Which you usually didn't. There was usually a row that was pretty crooked, and it's funny. There it is, right there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Let's see if I can go to my camera view here, and I don't know if you guys can. Yeah, it's going to be hard to see. I'm going to read it. This is the one thing I distinctly remember. Ladies manicure set from Griffin. Set includes cuticle nippers, simulated mother of pearl, cleaner pusher, triple cut nail file, cuticle scissors, nail scissors, tweezers. Came in red or blue, and it was $2.
$2.
God, I mean, I'm looking at that, and I can just picture that. I just remember that distinctly. Having that set. Actually getting it from my mom, and then I think I ended up maybe using it a time or two, because I have such pretty nails.
Yeah, I don't. I never did. I was trying to. Look at the record players and the radios.
Yeah, and this is back in the day when we all had records. We all had 8 tracks, and I'm trying to remember. Excuse me. Excuse me. You got these at grocery stores, gas stations. I guess we seem to get all ours at United, which was kind of a local, not a local, but a regional grocery chain.
Yeah. That's where we got all ours.
And I distinctly remember, though, they always came with the big bags full of Dr. Pepper, 1 liter. And the cool thing about the reason I remember the glass bottles for the Dr. Pepper was you could return them and get a few cents back. And so on a Saturday when I was trying to watch Johnny Quest or something, Mom would say, "Curtis, get up and help me load the bottles. I'm going to," and back then, what some of you younger people that might be listening to don't understand, you couldn't push pause, you couldn't push the DVR, you couldn't record it on a VCR. If you had to go out and load the bottles and Johnny Quest was on, you missed 10 or 15 minutes of the show because there was no going back. And so,
Mom, get Connie to do it.
Yeah, and Connie would be saying, "Need Curtis to do it." Yeah, I remember those Saturdays distinctly.
Mom always let us take the bottles back and keep the money.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, my mom was a Dr. Pepper addict, so there was a lot of money
Still
involved.
is, isn't she?
She buys kind of the generic brand now sometimes,
Oh, yeah.
which is called like Mr. Bob.
Or
Dr. Bob, or
Right.
like kind of like Mr. Pibb was kind of I don't know if it was kind of a competitor to Dr. Pepper. Does anybody remember Mr. Pibb?
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna bring up all kinds of stuff.
I remember the first time I had a Mr. Pibb, it was at Pizza Hut.
We had Mr. Pibb in Enid, actually?
Oh, yeah.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we were watching, I was watching $6 Million Man, and we were ordering pizza from Pizza Hut, and they brought home Mr. Pibb. I'm like, what is that? It was pretty good, a little too sweet.
Yeah,
Even sweeter than...
it seems like it was a sweeter version of Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, if you can do that.
And I don't know which came out first, Dr. Pepper or Mr. Pibb, but
no, Dr. Pepper was way early.
Okay, I was gonna say one of them copied off the other one.
Oh, Dr. Pepper was...
Is it one of the originals?
Yeah, it may have been the original. Like 1800 stuff. That's a whole nother episode.
That is a whole, yeah. And again, thanks for joining in. This is the 70s Buzz podcast, where we are going to be talking about all kinds of different subjects. You know, one connection you and I had was our infatuation with Farrah Fawcett, and that's going to be an episode in itself. And I've got a story about me and the Farrah Fawcett poster that's kind of a cool story.
Yeah, kind of famous.
Yeah, so, but back to the green stamps. Again, they still are in existence, but it's green points. You can cash those in online if you find Grandma had a stash of old books. Like, it seems like a lot of people are finding those now.
Yeah.
Finding a stash of those
It
around the
wasn't
house.
real easy to find those, but they dug them out.
Yeah, here's a fact that I've found on several websites. It is estimated that 80% of American households collected green stamps during their heyday. Can you imagine that? 80%.
I'd like to have 80% of anything as far as.
But that's why we can talk about this, and everybody that lived in that time knows what we're talking about. Whether you lived on the East Coast, West Coast, North, South, Midwest, Florida, anywhere, 80% of the households in the United States was collecting green stamps. That's huge.
Yeah, and they claimed, was it the idea book or the stamp books that were the largest publication in the world? I think it may have been the idea book.
Maybe the idea book.
Probably the stamp book.
Well, and they said they were printing in their heyday. The S&H green stamps were printing more stamps than the United States Post Office.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
Yeah, so during their heyday. So anyway, very, very cool.
Yeah, I remember going to the grocery store, and if the little girl forgot to give you the stamps, you had to Mom would be like, I need my green stamps.
Yeah, because they might be pilfering those after hours. You never know.
I don't know, I know you can still spend them, but can you still get them somewhere?
I don't think so.
So there's just so many printed that there's just a whole bunch of them out there still.
I think so, yeah, but I think you can still earn green points by doing things online, or buying things. You just don't get green stamps. I don't think, now you could, I may just be not aware of it, so. A couple other things in here, gosh, toys, they've got tricycles, and again, I don't think our store had near what's in this book. Oh, remember the pitchback? When that was so cool, with the net, and you'd throw the baseball and it never came back to you, you went chasing the ball somewhere.
I love that stuff.
It seemed like it'd last for maybe 15 minutes, and then it would start falling over, and God, they got some cool stuff in here.
Now, I remember going to the green stamp store a lot and just window shopping.
Yeah.
Back when we used to window shop.
I was going to say, the cool thing was, our green stamp store was close enough in our neighborhood that we could go walk over there, ride our bikes over there,
Yeah.
and we'd just go inside and look around.
Yeah,
Just
go through the cases.
check stuff out.
Now it's a sandwich shop.
It's a Subway, free publicity there but yeah, there are some really cool.
Sending you a bill.
Yeah, I'm gonna look, I wonder if there's there you go, it is, this is 1970.
Yeah.
This is a 1970 idea book. So, man, very cool. Lots of camping equipment and birdhouses. Gosh, do you remember, did your parents or grandparents ever do it just went out of my mind. What was the bird? Martin, Purple Martin house.
Yeah, we built them.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, one year for Christmas, Dad and I built a whole bunch, everybody got Purple Martin birdhouses.
Really?
Yeah, like all the aunts and uncles.
Uh-huh.
And they were big. I don't know how we got them all in the car.
Wow. Yeah, some of them were 3-4 stories high. I remember my grandma had a 12 holer. I mean, there was 12 holes for 12 different Purple Martin nests.
Yeah, and the hole had to be a certain size.
Yeah.
The perch had to be a certain distance from the hole. They were real picky, or they wouldn't build a nest just anywhere.
And it was a competition. And we're off on a different subject, which I guess Purple Martins could be a whole nother podcast, but just brought up one of those good memories. One of the couple of things we're going to talk about, probably outdoor equipment. Maybe that'll be one of our podcasts, but I'm looking right here at jarts. Remember jarts? Luckily, we didn't kill each other with jarts. And croquet.
Much safer.
Did you play croquet much as a kid?
Not a whole lot.
I don't think I did either. We always had a
I never
croquet set.
understood it. And I'm like, what is that? What do you do with that?
I remember you hit it through the hoops, and the first one to get to the pole
Right.
was a winner, but I just don't remember ever playing
Actually,
it that often.
Actually played it more as an adult than,
Kind of for fun
Yeah.
than for
4th of
entertainment
July,
back then.
yeah.
Yeah. They've even got a ping pong table in here, which they call it table tennis. Well, the table tennis set is only 2 books. Well, maybe they don't sell. Maybe they didn't sell that.
yeah, because
Number
they did a
4.
pool table too.
Oh, there we go. Tennis table was 20 and a half books. Wow. I wonder, it would have taken us a lifetime to get 20 and a half books, I think.
If anybody knows how much you got for like $50 worth of groceries, my sister must have logged off.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out. How many stamps did you get for a buck?
Yeah.
Did you, was a buck 3 stamps, 5 stamps, 10 stamps? We don't know. So if anybody knows that, let us know. We're kind of curious about that, and if we
How
do.
much was a green stamp worth?
Yeah, we are on live. If you're listening to this podcast, it is recorded, but we do this show live on Facebook and YouTube, and so to get a little feedback, we like people responding to what we're talking about. So
Yeah, I haven't seen the comments on YouTube yet.
yeah, and you'll find these videos on YouTube, and we will have them posted on there weekly. So please get on there or go to buzzheadmedia.com, which we don't have that actually set up yet, but if you go to Buzzhead Radio, we do have some podcasts on there, and then that will eventually forward you to Buzzhead Media, where we will have more stuff. I wish I had more of those comments in front of me of people remembering. They had some really, really cool, people really were endeared by the green stamps. A lot of memories, a lot of...
Well, they were always around.
and a lot of kids it seems like they spent time with their parents or their grandparents doing something with green stamps, which was kind of a cool, kind of a family thing that brought people, nowadays we're all on our digital devices, which aren't really connected like everybody doing a group green stamp thing.
Although, over Christmas, we all got on this game.
Oh, everybody was connected?
Yeah, or competing against each other. Like I would score 200, and then Tana would play, and she'd score 202. So I guess maybe it's kind of sort of the same, but
Yeah, but so it seems like that was the biggest time for green stamps, was around Christmas time, trying to think, okay, we need to buy some presents, let's use the green stamps that we have.
yeah.
So
David Kaiser, the guy who loaned us this book, said that the thing he remembers was in 1980, when he graduated high school, he was off to college. His mom handed him some green stamp books and said, "Here, David, go buy you an electric shaver." And that's the thing that he remembers.
yeah, I think everybody's got at least one green stamp memory. So again, I wish we could, eventually we'll get this where we're going to have people call in or Skype in, and we'll have some interviews with people that,
Love these 70s clocks.
Yeah, let me switch cameras there. Check out those. Those are hip. Those are some good game room clocks. Those would go for a lot of money today.
Yeah.
If you still had any of those around. So fun stuff there on in the idea book. So green stamps. Any other last minute memories of the old green stamps? I'm trying to come up with a few more facts here. It was a family-owned store until about the 1981, I think. They sold to a different company, but then years later after that,
99.
a family member actually bought the company back.
Yeah.
And so it is still owned. Oh, there's the Quick Saver book that had the 1200 single, a picture of it. Oh, you know what? I got a whole nother camera here that I can go to. And so I'm going to show you guys real quick. There's those are the books that I remember. Had the kind of the watercolor painting of the family, putting the stamps in, and I just showed that on YouTube. So if you want to see some photos, if you're listening to our podcast now, please get on the YouTube channel, Buzzhead Media, youtube.com/Buzzhead Media, and you'll see in the video, you'll actually see the idea book, the green stamp books.
Get on the YouTube,
some green stamps, and
please.
please. Yeah, please subscribe to our page on there as well, and click on the notifications. So
Like, share.
all that good stuff. Leave comments. Please leave comments in the comment chat area, and we can answer those. Maybe we'll have an answer. Maybe when we do the next week's episode, we answer a couple of questions from the prior week just to kind of get the show started or something. So
Yeah.
if you do have questions, let us know.
And I want to do a versus segment. I think that'd be fun. Like
Yeah.
Brady Bunch versus Partridge Family.
Marianne versus
Ginger.
Ginger. We're going to do some of those as well. Yeah, so that'll be fun. Well, thank you, computer. One of these days I'm going to turn that off, but it is 9:30 where we are. What time is it where you are?
It's 9:30. Do you know where you are? Because
Yeah.
I don't know where you are.
Economists say the recession of the 1970s impacted heavily on S&H green stamps. Consumers weren't buying as much, and retailers had to cut back on incentive programs.
That's back when they changed the speed limit to 55. Can you imagine driving somewhere at 55?
I can't even imagine
But
it.
we did it.
Yeah.
And the cars had the speedometer, when you got to 55, the 55 was red.
Yeah.
So you know not to go past that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
The
So much 70s.
the bigger books where you put the single stamps in, they were 24 pages, and again, 1,200 points to fill,
So there was 50 stamps on a
50 to a page.
page.
Yeah,
Crazy.
lots of licking. I do remember licking, and I think when we had several books, I think I do remember getting a sponge and wetting. I didn't have the little sponge set.
It was like a plastic container.
I
had the sponge sitting in it.
Yeah, and stamp collectors have those.
Yeah, so your table didn't get wet or whatever.
Yeah, I think they probably sold those for stamp collectors, and then they would just use them for the green stamps. So, so great memories of the green stamp store, all the cool little items that you could buy, and we just want to bring that to you as our first episode, because so many people, when I bring this up online and social media, it always gets a huge amount of comments, a huge amount of memories. S&H, Sperry, and Hutchinson.
Good times, good clean times back then.
Yep, and just to let you know, our show is family friendly. You can let your kids listen to these. Your kids definitely are not going to remember green stamps, so
Sit them down, tell them about your days when you licked green stamps.
yeah, I think this will be kind of a cool show for our kids too. 5 years from now, they're going to listen to these and say, "Our parents did what? They had what? They didn't have what? What?"
No DVR, what?
Yeah, so we lived in the dark ages.
Yeah.
Which, it was so much fun, though. That's why I think we're going to have a kick with this podcast. I think we're going to bring up a lot of memories, a lot of reminiscing. It was an idyllic youth that we had living here in Enid, Oklahoma, riding bikes, skateboards, going to the green stamp store, going to Otasco, TG&Y, Whackers, Woolco.
Whackers.
Gosh, we could name off so many stores. And all those will be on future podcasts. And I guess we're going to wrap this up. I think we've hopefully surpassed our 30-minute limit. Since I combined these two, I can't actually tell. But we're going to try to keep these podcasts.
Technology.
Yeah, we'll keep. I'll do a little editing. We'll make this right at 30 minutes, maybe, if we haven't reached that yet. But these will be between 30 minutes, half an hour to an hour. We hope you enjoy it. Clean family fun, just reminiscing about old stuff. We will get better. This is our first real podcast on the 70s Buzz podcast.
Yeah, and if you got any suggestions, hey, Brent's watching. Hi, Bert.
Hey, Bert, talking about green stamps.
I know you can't hear us very well. Sorry.
Yeah, Facebook. We will be doing these live a lot of times on Facebook and YouTube. So if you want to try to catch us live and you're out there listening to this podcast, go to BuzzHead Media anywhere online, and on Tuesday night you might be able to catch us live.
You can even call in.
Call in. We'll have that all set up. We're going to get better. We're going to have more things lined up. We just want to get this going. We got to get it going. That was if you're thinking about doing a podcast or a vlog or a YouTube channel, our advice to you is you just got to do it. Whether you've got the equipment or not. We did not. All this equipment that you're seeing on the YouTube channel, we have pieced together pretty quick over the last couple of months. We started out with almost nothing. We've pieced these all together. We're using iPhones. We're using mini iPads. We're using iPads. So we've got a combination of a whole bunch of stuff here. So anyway, I think we're going to...
Sort of work, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to get out of here. Sign off for our first official podcast.
Woo-hoo.
I'm going to go home after this and do our intro. So we'll have an intro and an exit. This one right now is naked, but by the time you hear it on the podcast, it will have an introduction and an ending. I said naked on the radio. Well, not really the radio, the podcast.
Radio, whatever.
So we need to figure out a sign off, but again, I apologize for the coughs. I do have I'm saying it's allergies. My wife says it's a cold. Who knows? Thanks for listening to the 70s Buzz podcast, and
Bye.
we hope everybody stays groovy.
Groovy man.
Groovy man.
Far out.
Far out. See you, dude. See you, dude.
See you later.
See you later. Okay, I'm gonna cut it there. I'm gonna turn her off.
I don't know. You Facebook Livers, I'm cutting you off too. No telling what that sounds like. I'm sure it sounds like poop.
Okay, and I am going to turn our video off. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm turning this off, so thanks for checking in. We will get better. I think eventually we're going to have a producer that's going to run this, so it'll be a little better, because
Curtis had his hands full.
I didn't have my show notes, and so I was trying to look stuff up while I was trying to control that. So anyway, see you guys. Thanks for checking in.